Welcome to Deep Thought. Ignorance is a big issue. I'm going to tell you what, just out here, I want y'all to really think about this. A lot of stuff is happening just because of pure ignorance. People are making statements, getting in front of people, they talking, trying to talk with some knowledge, but they're just ignorant. And ignorance just means you really don't know. You're speaking on something you don't know about. That's a big issue out here. That is a big issue. Like most people will just go off what somebody says and don't check it out. That's why on my men's channel, even, I'm known for talking about body game and whatever I talk about in the whole thing of man gets woman. And even on my woman's channel where I talk about, women attracting that man. You know what? I tell everybody, I say, look, okay, I said all this. Take it with a grain of salt. Go verify it. Go verify it. Because what happens is people say something, but then they don't ask enough questions. That's one thing I've been accused of, because I'm like, I want to know. I've been accused by people who've been close to me. They'll say, Rom, you ask a lot of questions. Yeah, I do. I don't make any assumptions. We're going to get into the assumptions in the next episode. I'm asking why. There's a purpose there, or what's going on, Because a lot of people are operating off of ignorance. A lot of people are making decisions because they don't know. And see, once you make an ignorant decision, the problem just compounded because you operating off of a false pretext. You thinking, okay, this is the case in this particular situation when it really isn't. But then everything you're doing, like people, they've probably moved, probably made some bad choices. People have died behind somebody not knowing. Like, there's nothing cool about it. Now, I know, there's that statement from the classic book 1984 by George Orwell about ignorance is bliss. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not bliss at all. Do you really want to go, say you move into some new neighborhood and you got a bunch of predatory people around there, You got some people who will rob you, some people who will attack you sexually, regardless of your gender, people who will try to destroy you. Could have some killers. How is being ignorant of the circumstances and the surroundings bliss? How is it really bliss? No, you need to know. And yeah, it could be painful to know, but then if you really knew what was going on in that neighborhood, you probably wouldn't have moved there. And I actually said that before my money channel. I said, before you move any place, check out the neighborhood. Trust me, where I live now, I was checking it out. I drove through here probably several times. I would just drive through here regularly, just pay attention. I was paying attention to people, checking crime statistics online, everything, because I said, no, I am not. I need to know. I need to know. And, and it's a big issue, especially in Western culture, because a lot of people, they really don't know. They listening to the news, which tells them anything. Understand something with the news. Now, some people use the term fake news, but a more accurate term is propaganda. They tell you one side of the story, regardless of which end of the political spectrum you are, racial background, whatever, religious. They only tell you part of a story. But then, depending on who people follow, they're going to act on that. And, then you get bigger problems. And indeed, you do have a lot of people who exploit people's ignorance. They play right into it, and they do it for money. They do it for money. They do it for support, whatever. These people, it's like, dude, are these people thinking? No. Hey, once again, a big reason why I do this channel is purely to make you think. Isn't that right or wrong on here? It's not right or wrong. It's to get you to think. It's to get you to think. That's why I say, even if you disagree with what some I say, just be respectful of your disagreement and explain it. Because that means you're thinking. That means, hey, I'll be smiling the whole time. I'll be smiling the whole time. It kind of reminds me like when I was in college. I had a professor, dear professor, and he was just, He said, look, if you can't answer this question intelligently, just write on here, I can't give a college level answer to this question. I will give you some credit. Because he couldn't stand ignorant answers. He could not stand ignorance. I couldn't stand it. And, you know, but it's a big issue. It's almost, I'm going to tell you what, there's a lot of dumbing down out here by the theys. And I don't mean some metaphysical, I'll say the term Illuminati. I remember the day you couldn't say that, but I'll say it. It's not some metaphysical Illuminati. Think about it. If you got some corporate entity that wants you to buy their stuff, their crap, they want you to be ignorant. Or you got some pharmaceutical companies, I'm going to call it, who want you to get their stuff. They want you to be ignorant. They want you to think. They forget all about and they actually tell you about the side effects. So, you know, they want you to be ignorant about like natural remedies for stuff. Because ultimately all these pharmaceuticals are based on something you can go out in nature and get and heal yourself. But the more ignorant people are, the more money the pharmaceuticals make. The more you caught up into the propaganda of the news, you're like, oh, somebody's making some money, some political group is getting elected, something. But if you really look at it, it's like, wait a minute, hold up. You know, now people don't ask questions, they don't dig deep. They don't dig deep into something. And trust me, I can point out a whole bunch of stuff happening in the news where I'm like, wait a minute, y'all asking the right question? You know, people doing stuff, I'm like, but this might hurt you. You know, there's so many things. I ain't gonna get into it. I stay out of politics. I could do a political channel, but I stay out of it. Because honestly, there's no thinking there. It really isn't. It really isn't. People need to think about stuff. Some people just follow along. And that's a big issue, because what if someone's following out of ignorance the wrong person? It's like lemons. They lead them over the side of a cliff. That's a big issue. You know, they don't, you know, that's one of the things. That's one thing I did learn at my high school. It was Archbishop Carroll High School in D.C. Our teachers encouraged us to think, even if we disagreed with them. They said they really encouraged us to think. Alumni from when I was there, we'd all say, you know, we didn't learn any. As far as what we actually learned, like book knowledge, it was like we're like, eh. But all of us learned how to think. We were encouraged to think. You know, we were encouraged to think about stuff, but I don't see that. I don't see that now in the culture. People doing stuff, and it's like they want you to think less and less. You know, they want to interfere with that. So I mean, that's a really big issue. So something to think about. I want y'all to really think about what I just said. Think about the times in your life you've seen ignorance. Think about the times in your life you might have been ignorant of something. Like, one thing about me, there's always going to be something that I might not know as much. That's why I will ask questions. Like I said, people who know me close, they'll say, Rom, you're always asking questions. And I always will, because I want to know exactly what you're talking about. You know, I will sit there and ask, I will get on your nerves, you know, because I don't follow blindly. That's why I tell people, everything I say, like I say, I'm going to say what I said earlier. Even the stuff I talk about, man gets woman or woman attracting a man, what men gonna look for, I say, go out and test it out. Go out and test it out, because I'm not afraid for you to think. I don't like blind followers. I really don't. You know, I can't stand that concept. You know, if you support me, I want it to be because you say, okay, he's providing something of service to me. You're not following me just out of some ignorance. I can't stand that. So anyway, but it is a big issue out here. Big issue. Like, I would put on, you know, when I hit that first billion, oh yeah, I made a choice to make $1 billion. When I hit that first $1 billion, I'm just going to put billboards all over the place. Think! You know, ask questions. So anyway, though, I want y'all to think on this. Don't be ignorant. Just think on it, all right? Anyway, I'll get back with y'all. Peace and many blessings.